Gosh. I'm still excited.
I am too. Okay, so we have Jennifer Soltis and Jamie Campbell versing today.
Yeah, so we're in the mulligan phase here. So, for those unfamiliar, the mulligan or altering hands in Lorcana is what we call it. It's a very generous system in this game, and it allows you to look at 7 cards, and then you get to pick as many of them as you want, send them to the bottom of your deck, and replace those cards in your hand. So if you're looking for certain key cards in your opening, if there's certain combo pieces that you want to find in the early game, it allows you to look through up to 14 cards basically to find those cards that you need. And so we're seeing that happen here, and I think the players are shuffling now after doing that.
Yeah, and it's always exciting to see if people go big or small, because being able to kind of determine what kind of hand altering you want to do is really, it's a huge skill in this game.
That is true. There's so much to think about, from your curve to what you're looking for. Sometimes you can mess up a hand by drawing into too many uninkables.
Right.
And we are off now. Chernobog's Follower is there on turn 1 from Jennifer.
Chernobog's Follower is a great card. When it quests, you're able to banish it to draw another card. So it replaces itself, which is very, very nice to have in a card.
That's true. Yeah, any card that replaces itself, it gives your deck more consistency. It allows you to find those pieces that you need. So it's a great turn 1 card. And here Jamie answers with a Robin Hood.
Very nice.
Yeah, one of the things that Robin Hood does is it sets up that scary shift in the Steel Song deck.
Champion of Sherwood. Very scary. Jennifer looks like she's inking her Flynn Rider frenemy, questing with the Chernobog's Followers. I wonder if she has another one in hand or is able to. I see she drew a Be Prepared.
Yeah, interesting. So one of the things... So let's talk. I'm going to talk a little bit about this Steel Song deck for a second as we see what. Well, let's see what Jennifer does here first, so we can give the play-by-play, and then.
We had another one.
We did have
it's
the
fine.
frenemy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, nothing to pair it with, so that Robin Hood, Beloved Outlaw, there will prevent frenemy from going off on Jennifer's turn.
Yes.
But one of the things Jamie's trying to do here, Jamie's playing a Steel Song list, and this deck is, as the name suggests, is powered by songs, and it's doing a couple things. One, it does have ways in the later game to gain lore off songs, to include cards like Sleepy's Flute. But the other thing it's doing is it's trying to gain a resource advantage by playing high-cost cards or powerful singers onto the board, which will allow Jamie to do a lot more ink's worth of things
without using the ink.
Without using the ink. And so here, for example, we have a song played here on turn 2. This is Bare Necessities.
And choosing the only non-character card that Jennifer had in hand was that Be Prepared, so it is getting banished.
It was, I think, the only option. I think you're right there, but not a card that Jamie is terribly upset to see go.
No.
As we were describing, what Jamie wants to do is really get some of his powerful singers to stick. You have Ariel, you have Vanessa, you have sometimes Gaston, Baritone Bully in here. And if you can get them on the board, you can do a lot of things, especially if you play a Whole New World to recharge your hand. So Jennifer having a Be Prepared in hand prevents that from happening. One of the worst things that can happen for Jamie is once you build up those characters that can sing those songs, getting them all cleared away. So getting rid of that Be Prepared, one of potentially 4, is not a terrible thing.
Yes. Jennifer inking Madam and Fox to play Cusco Wanted Llama and another Chernobog's Followers. These cards are also... Cusco is also another that can replace himself when he is banished. Oftentimes, turn 3, you'll kind of see Ruby Amethyst players trying to set up the Sisu combo. It looks like she is either not playing it or she was not able to hit it.
Oh, that is true. So Jamie now playing Ariel Spectacular Singer, allowing him to look at the top 4 cards of his deck and pick a song. There were some options there. There was a Whole New World, but instead taking World's Greatest Criminal Mind. I think because we have a Whole New World in hand already, if I'm seeing correctly.
Yes.
So World's Greatest Criminal Mind, a much better option. Having 2 Whole New Worlds in hand doesn't do you a whole lot of good.
True. True. Yes. Jennifer questing, banishing the Chernobog's Followers to draw a card. Looks like she's got a Madame Medusa in there. And I saw on turn she drew a Queen's Castle, which is such a fantastic piece of this deck, being able, because It gets 2 passive lore every turn. You move your cards to it. You get to draw more cards, and then it's got a pretty big body. Jennifer playing Be King Undisputed.
And questing for 2. Be King Undisputed, a card that forces Jamie to pick and banish a character of his choice. And in this instance, oftentimes you play this card when there's only one choice to force your opponent into banishing their one thing. But here, Jennifer, clearly happy to remove either of these. Robin Hood represents a shift target, and then Ariel Spectacular Singer is Singer 5, which does a whole lot of work.
A lot of work, absolutely, for sure. Yeah, and being able to shift that Robin Hood is quite a sneaky little maneuver, and so we've stopped that for the time being.
That is true. It's a powerful shift in this deck because not only is Robin Hood then
shiny. Sorry for my gasp.
It's so shiny.
It's beautiful.
That's Cinderella Ballroom Sensation in her enchanted form on Jamie's side of the board. Just a beautiful card. Also a Baloo. Baloo, an interesting card in this deck, is a card with Bodyguard, but when it's banished, its owner gets 2 lore. So a card that's going to protect the singers there, and if Jennifer goes into it to remove it, it's going to give Jamie a couple lore to push the lore total a little bit higher.
Yes. Jamie inking a goat, hitting that Maui, which he will knock into that Baloo. Banishing it, of course, giving up 2 lore there for Jamie. But hey, to get to everybody else, you got to go through the Bodyguard.
Yeah, that's true. Both players low on cards in hand. That whole new world is going to start to get more tempting here over time. But Jennifer has drawn into another Be Prepared. So happy to find that in case Jamie decides to go wide with singers here. But it's not going to matter. That whole new world is going to go into the discard pile.
There she is.
And we are going to whole new world, and both players are going to draw 7 new cards.
And like you said previously, he was able to sing it. So now he has all that ink left to work with, now with his fresh new resources. So very fun.
That's one of the things that makes songs so good, and especially Whole New World so good as a song because, as you said, able to sing it, and then you've got all your ink.
Yes.
And here we are going wide.
Oh, finally.
And a Sleepy's Flute.
Love a Sleepy's Flute.
Remind us what Sleepy's Flute does again?
Every time a song is played on a turn, or if a song is played on a turn, you get to just exert that and get a little lore off of that. And if you're, these song decks, they're, like every turn, honestly.
Every turn. Every single turn. Yeah, that's one of the win conditions for Jamie is getting a Sleepy's Flute or 2 on the board, and then trying to control the board with some of the powerful songs like Along Came Zeus or Grab Your Sword or other Let the Storm Rage On, other damage-dealing steel cards while you're just gaining a lore or 2 lore every single turn from singing the songs. Something else that Jamie's thinking about here too is, again, we mentioned that the Steel Song decks really want to go wide with singers, and so Be Prepared is Jennifer's answer to that wide board. There are others, but it's the one that'll clear things out. Jamie now knows that at least 2 of those have gone into the discard pile, and so it's going to be a lot harder for Jennifer to be able to control the board at this point. Jamie is definitely counting the number of Be Prepareds that have been discarded.
Yeah, absolutely keeping tabs on that. The thing about, playing a whole new world, your opponent also gets a nice full hand. So Jennifer's got a lot of resources that she can draw to right now, playing the Chernobog's followers. With that wide board, I'm sure right now probably would have felt good to have something like that. But instead we're going to bounce. And Jennifer looks as though she's going to use Madame Mim's ability to rush and removing that Ariel Spectacular Singer.
Yeah, Ariel being a Singer 5. There's so many 5-cost songs that Steel has available that are just great. And so getting that off the board is definitely helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, one of the things that was worked into this deck in set 2, Gaston Baritone Bully, also a 5-cost singer. And so that's still available for cards like Grab Your Sword, Along Came Zeus, etc.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm always interested to see when somebody plays both the Gaston and the Ariel because they're both the Singer 5. Both a 3-cost, and Ariel has that beautiful ability where she can hunt for songs on her own. Jennifer playing Magic Broom, and then playing another character, allowing her to discard the magic broom, which allows her to draw another card.
Definitely digging here
She's looking for something.
Yeah, for answers, the cards. There's several things that we need some removal to deal with these singers. But one of the ways that Jennifer is hoping to close out this game is using Queen's Castles.
Yes.
And so probably a card that Jennifer's looking to get on the board here at some point, because Jamie doesn't have a lot of answers for a Queen's Castle, a lot of easy answers.
Yeah, because the Queen's Castle has such a big body, and these singers. The characters she has, or the characters in general, don't have huge strength amounts, but combining with songs, but again, nothing that can really easily take out the 7 willpower of a Queen's Castle.
Yes, there are a few songs. Along Came Zeus.
Lawrence.
Remember Lawrence? Lawrence is a fun little card. Wonderful character from Princess and the Frog.
Yes.
I had to look that up because I forgot. Lawrence, so we talked about cards that we mentioned that this deck doesn't have a lot of high strength cards, and of course Jamie playing a Lawrence right as we're saying that. Lawrence is one of the higher strength cards in this deck. It has 4 strength as long as he has no damage on him, and also 2 lore, able to quest for a little bit in the mid game as well. So Jamie here clearing off Jennifer's board, and that's gonna.
Another whole new world.
Another whole new world.
Might be great for Jennifer, honestly. She could really draw something fantastic here.
That is true. I think Jennifer was down on answers, and at this point, hoping again to draw into another Be Prepared, perhaps. Would love to kind of reset things and then be able to dump some castles on the board.
Yeah.
Speaking of castle, we do see one. Ooh,
So
and 3 rabbits.
Merlin rabbits. That'll help us to draw some cards there.
Yeah. So. This is super interesting. So one of the cards that Jennifer was definitely looking for were those rabbits. In these Ruby Amethyst decks nowadays, there are really a couple phases to the game. The way I like to think about it, in the first phase, you're looking for some aggression with Flynn Rider Frenemy, hopefully a Sisu on turn 3, trying to gain lore early. And then in the mid game, once you get to turn like 4, 5, 6. There's a couple things you can do. One is drop castles, but the other is you really want to get your rabbit engine going. Every rabbit represents the ability to draw at least 2 cards, and when you're in the mid and late game, you're looking for certain key pieces for control. You're looking for Be Prepared. You're also looking for castles. You're looking for goats, and so you have to get that rabbit engine engaged. So Jennifer here drawing into 3 rabbits is going to be happy to play these. Jamie hasn't pushed his lore total high enough where Jennifer has to be on offense completely. And so is going to be very happy to get those rabbits going here. But I think would love another Be Prepared still.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Sorry, I was getting excited. Ariel Spectacular Singer was looking for a new song in her song list.
Oh, what do we have available here?
We have options. Oh, that's always fun. We have Strength of a Raging Fire and A Whole New World.
So this is a really interesting choice because I'm not sure if Jamie would love to Whole New World here right away, but we've already sent 1 Whole New World to the bottom of the deck with another Ariel, and we've played 2. So this is Jamie's last chance to pull a Whole New World before he has to work all the way down to the bottom of the deck to see the other. So this is the last one.
Yeah. Oh, another flute coming down. So now, every time we play a song,
2 lore.
2 lore per turn.
Yeah, and another shiny Cinderella.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
Definitely a shiny deck. So here we are questing for 3, it looks like, pushing that low total higher. So now, in a Steel Song deck, as you pointed out earlier, you're going to play a song almost every turn. So with those flutes there, you can do the math, and we're really on a clock. 2 lore per turn for the next few turns. That's really what, with the questing, it's probably about a 10 turn?
Yeah.
5 turn. Sorry, my public math is not my strong suit.
The worst kind of math.
It's about a 5-6 turn clock here.
Jennifer having Merlin Rabbit sing Friends on the Other Side, allowing her to draw 2. I'm going to be honest, I really want to see that castle come down. It's just one of the best locations in the game, and it makes me so excited to see. Jennifer bouncing the rabbit, getting that draw edge, and got that Be Prepared off of it.
Drawing Be Prepared. Unfortunately, not enough here sing it. So we're going to have to get through a whole other turn with Jamie having all of those singers. And I think more importantly at this point, that lore on the board for him to take advantage of.
Yes.
So we'll play a Sisu here.
Yes. And with the Sisu, her strength is how many cards are in your opponent's hand. And Jamie has quite a lot.
Yeah, so interesting play here. There's not a lot that Jennifer had available. I think Jennifer would love to be prepared next turn. So playing these cards that Jennifer then may be forced to banish herself, next turn, but doesn't want to tip her hand to Jamie that the be prepared is available. And so perhaps, and also, if Jamie does choose to use a whole new world, Jennifer wants something on the board that can respond to his exerted character. So definitely the right call not to leave an empty board, even though you're probably going to play a be prepared next turn.
For sure. Singing Strength of a Raging, singing Let the Storm Rage on to that magic broom and drawing a card. And because that song, 2 extra lore there.
Yep. This is definitely a challenging spot for Jennifer to be in. The lore total is getting to the point that those flutes are really threatening, and there is the Champion of Sherwood we talked about earlier, not being shifted here, just getting played for its full in cost.
Oodalale.
Golly, what a day.
So I think if Jennifer is going to go for the be prepared, now seems like a great time now that Champion of Sherwood is out. He does, okay. It was played when Robin Hood is banished. It allows a card to be drawn.
That's true, but only in a challenge.
So miss that draw as well. He doesn't even get to replace himself.
That is true, but here we are refilling the board immediately with singers.
Oh.
A couple Gastons.
Oh, so many.
So kind of a very good response here. Singer 5 opens up, as we talked about, plenty of song options for Jamie. So getting a couple singers on the board is great. It allows you to keep that song engine going. And at this point, Jamie knows that there have been 3 Be Prepared sent to the discard pile. Jennifer...
Sorry.
It's okay.
Queen's Castle not 1, but 2. So that's 4 lore, as long as those are out there.
Yes, no, this is a great response here. Jennifer doesn't like to see at this point any singers sticking around, but needs to force Jamie to start responding to her instead of doing whatever he wants on his turn. And so for Laura turn, we might not win that race right now, but if Jennifer can remove 1 or 2 of those singers, perhaps it makes that race pretty tight. And at some point, Jamie's going to have to spend resources, including challenging those castles rather than using those singers for other things.
Yes, and Eddie Steel Song player would rather sing with his singers than challenge with them.
That is true. And did we just whole new world? We did. And I think we drew into that 4th Be Prepared, if I'm looking correctly, all the way in the bottom there. Jennifer's drawn into it. So the best possible outcome for that whole new world.
Yeah.
Is that it? Did I missee it? It's red.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not? Is it?
No, it's because it's inkable, so it must be a Be King Undisputed.
Oh, okay.
No, that's uninkable. That's uninkable too. I don't know what it is, but it looked like a Be Prepared for a brief second. Maybe I was just hoping. So challenging position here. Again, we're at 14 lore now. A lot of lore on the board. 5 lore on the board. 7 with the flutes. And so Jamie with game on the board. Jennifer has to have answers.
Just some brawls.
We do have some brawls. That'll get rid of some of that lore. That'll buy a turn.
Yes.
Did turn get passed to Jennifer already? Yes. I do think we're missing the lore off those castles. Am I wrong?
I must. I don't.
Yeah. So I think. Because I think we were at, I could be wrong. I think we were at 7, so we might be at 11 at this point. So let's see.
Yes, correct.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Hercules down. who has both Reckless and Rush. So he's able to play the turn. And he has 7 strength. So Gaston was no match.
Gaston was no match, straight down to Hercules. Hercules is an interesting card. It is uninkable, so a lot of people have not worked him into the decks to replace Maui, but the reason that card is in there primarily is to deal with Queen's Castles, because it allows you to rush them and banish them in one turn. Hercules all by himself. In this instance, though, going into Gaston instead. So Jamie questing for 2, pushing ever closer.
For 3.
For 3, I'm sorry.
Oh, and then we have the blue. Oh, that changes some stuff, because to get rid of blue, has to give up 2.
Yeah, looking for that be prepared, or I think we're going to get rid of friends. Don't want them looking for that as answers.
Yep.
And that is a challenge here. Even if, I mean, the flutes, this is a challenge. This is a challenging spot, to be sure.
Yeah, for sure.
At this point, I mean, you say always play to your outs. At this point, top decking a be prepared would allow you to clear out those characters. But even if you clear out those characters, this blue represents 2 lore. So, it's just a challenging spot to be in. So,
I'm not sure how Jennifer will come back at this point.
I will say, I think we've missed the lore gain for those castles the last 2 turns, and so we should be showing
closer
15 lore. And 15 lore puts you, a goat bounce, it's still tough, but a lot closer than it looks on the bottom of the screen here.
Exactly.
But it looks like we are, nope.
Crab.
I think it was just too much for Jennifer to overcome there. Golly.
What a day.
Golly. Oodalali, golly, what a day. Another fun match. It's an interesting matchup because I do think Ruby Amethyst is considered to have the upper hand in this matchup.
I would agree.
But the Steel Song player doing everything needed to do to close that out in the early game. And I do think Jennifer didn't hit some of the ideal openings that she would have liked.
She did not, no. No, I think she started a little behind of where she probably wanted to be, getting off the Sisu Flynn combo and stuff, and it just never quite was able to catch up. But overall, like a very close game. I thought she did great. Jamie did amazing. It was really fun seeing how he was using his songs. Some very excellent use of A Whole New World, I thought.
Yeah, timed very well. Appropriately. Used very well. So great game. Let's see if Jennifer manages to come back and take game 2. So here we are again. I think we're getting to see them rearrange their hands here, which, as you pointed out, is so fun. It is really interesting to see what people choose to keep, what they choose to get rid of, and how they're setting themselves up for their opening turns here.
Absolutely. And I get really excited when somebody's like going really aggressive and they're like, I know what I want. And if it's not it, it's going back. Mm-hmm. But it looks like, and Jennifer did. She sent back 5.
Yeah, I think there's some of those key combo pieces Jennifer wants in the early game. Jamie sent back 1.
Yeah.
1.
A little more. He felt very good about that.
Yeah, clearly had some of the cards he wanted. Another note on the Steel Song decks and your mulligans. I think, if I saw correctly, Jamie has A Whole New World in the opening hand. Oh. When you have A Whole New World in your opening hand, if you're going to keep it, every card that you alter at that point is a risk, because drawing into another one is no good. 2 Whole New Worlds, one of those is completely useless to you. You can't ink it, and you're going to discard it. It's a dead card. And you want those Whole New Worlds available for the mid and late game. And so if you have it, you want to keep it. And I think he did have one. So definitely had everything he needed and didn't want to draw into a second Whole New World, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so shiny. Barm sensation. Fantastic turn 1 card. This card has Singer 3. There's plenty of 3-cost songs that Jamie can sing on turn 2. There's Bare Necessities. There's Let the Storm Rage On. To remove that broom. For sure. Jamie happy to do that, not only getting a card off Let the Storm Rage On, gets to sing it for free, but also that broom is a card that Jennifer wants to use to find some of her key cards.
And playing another song, Bare Necessities. Oh,
look at these choices.
Got some options.
So it's tempting to get rid of the Be Prepared. You also have that Castle, which can come down on turn 4, which is very difficult for this deck to deal with. It wouldn't be a bad card to get rid of. And the Brawl, though, Jamie, clearly gonna set something up here on turn 3 and is worried about the vulnerability of that brawl.
Clearly something where that would be the response Jennifer would gravitate towards. So I'm excited to see what that is, because with Brawl, it banishes a chosen character with 2 cost or less.
Yep. That is true. And so the other note here on the Queen's Castle and everything higher than cost 3. If Jamie is planning on setting up a whole new world with Ariel Spectacular Singer here on turn 4, everything that's cost 4 or higher for Jennifer doesn't matter, because that's all going away.
It's all gone.
So the Brawl, the only card that Jennifer could play on turn 3 to interrupt that, to get rid of the Ariel and prevent that whole new world from being sung, which is probably the consideration here.
Yeah, makes sense. Inking a Maryland crab.
we
Brawling back.
Was that a top deck Brawl?
It was.
Oh man, so yeah, I think Jennifer, seeing the writing on the wall, knowing what's coming, wants to keep the castles.
No. And,
yeah. There's something interesting about a whole new world in the early game. We talked earlier about how altering your hand in this game is very generous and allows you to draw into kind of the opening cards that you want to see. I think that castle looks really tempting at this point. So not only does it give you more cards, it recharges your hand with songs that you want to sing, so it's good for you. But if your opponent has aggressively mulliganed or aggressively altered their hand into cards that they want to see, you're forcing your opponent to ditch those cards they drew into and draw into a whole unknown hand and potentially disrupting their entire game plan.
Absolutely. And playing the Big King Undisputed. Goodbye, beautiful, shiny Cinderella. 2 flutes, though.
2 flutes, and this is definitely setting Jamie up for the long game here. But Jennifer, I feel like in a much better position than last game, with no singers on the board for Jamie.
Right.
Jamie, if he wants to play a whole new world here on turn 5, is going to have to play it with all ink, giving Jennifer the chance to rebuild the board first in that case.
Absolutely, yeah. Jennifer is controlling with that control deck, keeping the singers out of the way.
So, but here for Jennifer, this is the point of the game where Jennifer wants rabbits. We talked about last game how important they were, and when you get to turn 4 and 5, you want to start looking for other stuff, because this is kind of an awkward hand. And it's awkward you have 2 options here. One is the goat, which is, it's fine to get on the board. It gives you some strength. It gives you something to respond to your opponent's singers if they exert themselves. And it's probably the play, because the other one is friends from the other side. But Jennifer knows that a whole new world could be coming, and so drawing 2 extra cards that'll probably just get discarded is no good for you.
Yes, yeah, probably not worth it at this point. Although nicely, because Jamie's played 2 bare necessities, he knows that Jennifer has that be prepared, and when he is able to do a whole new world, it will be nice to know that is.
That is true. Now, we talked about having to play that whole new world is not ideal. So Jamie's setting himself, drawing into a singer 5, so getting Gaston on the board now, which can sing that whole new world. And do you remember also how we talked about how useless 2 whole new worlds are in your hand?
Unfortunately, we have the 2, only 1. But how do you pick which one?
That is true. Is one better? Is one of them shiny? Maui coming down here. Maui will, fun card to get down here. Jamie knows that a whole new world's being set up to be sung here. After it's sung by Gaston,
right there,
it would be vulnerable to that Maui on a challenge. So 2 whole new worlds to the discard pile, be prepared to the discard pile, and both players now with recharged 7-card hands.
Beautiful.
And I'm willing to bet that that Jennifer is not terribly unhappy with a grip full of 7 cards at this point.
Absolutely not. We see the be prepared. We have some Merlin rabbits in there, so hopefully.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just we can get that some card draw going. Make sure she has all the resources she needs to do whatever she needs to do.
Right. I mean, this is exactly what Jennifer wanted to draw into. We have the rabbits. I mean, a castle maybe would have been nice, but drawing into that be prepared is super helpful. One of the plays that Jamie would have loved to have available, I'll point out, it's a great combo in this deck if you have a couple singers on the board to sing a whole new world and then immediately sing bare necessities if you draw into it, to look at your opponent's hand and see what they have and get rid of a card. So that's a line that Jamie would have loved to have available, drawing into that bare necessities, but did not have the singers available to do it.
No. And we see that Baloo again with that tasty 2 lore when he is removed from play. Another beautiful singer with Ursula as Vanessa.
So A fascinating choice here. Jamie choosing not to play Baloo in Exerted in Bodyguard, so leaving that Gaston vulnerable. Would rather have it for later turns. So Jennifer singing A Whole New World with Maui, drawing 2 new cards. Probably looking for some removal at this point.
Yeah, I see a couple Merlin crabs, a couple Merlin rabbits. Looks like requesting with the goat, perhaps a bounce. Does she have Merlin fox in hand? I'm not sure.
Let's see what we're doing.
Oh, there she is.
Fox, bounce the goat, get a lure out of that.
And if she chooses to brush, she can take out that Gaston.
And the fox into Gaston as get rid of that singer 5. So we do have Vanessa on the board. I believe she's only singer 4 though.
So not a bad exchange at all.
No, so several 5-cost cards now not available, including Another Whole New World, if that was something Jennifer thought Jamie might want to do. Vanessa not able to sing that, so some options closed down there. But looking at the hand, I mean, I think Jennifer would love to start playing some rabbits here. We are going to play this Sisu. Sisu will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, strength.
Nothing
6.
to sneeze at there.
No. But again, we are on that clock with the song, with the 2 Sleepy Flutes there. So
Yes.
Jennifer's got to be thinking about, yes, controlling those singers, but also trying to start to push the lore total higher, even bit by bit, to put you within striking distance of goats and perhaps a couple castles if you can get them in the later game.
Yes, for sure. Jamie inking Lawrence.
Oh, and a third
The
flute.
third flute.
No.
Oh my goodness. And another Baloo. Oh, wow.
Ooh, it's just a challenge. So those Baloos are going to represent 4 lore if the board is cleared, and then Sleepy's Flutes 3 lore a turn with songs. We'll probably play that Bare Necessities,
Yes.
even if it's just to
Just to
activate
get
those
the
flutes.
3 lore, yeah. So we're losing the Be Prepared off of that.
It's 3 lore, questing with the Baloo.
4. Wow. Taking it up to 9.
And another challenging spot.
Maui is forced to go. He's forced to challenge, so he will have to take out that Baloo, and Jamie will get the 2 lore off of that.
That is true. We could probably, actually remove both Baloo and Vanessa. We have a Lady Tremaine. That we're not going to do that though. We're going to sing with Maui.
Underrated as a singer.
That is, he does hit You're Welcome pretty well, but Friends is a little more, a little different song. So
For sure.
But yes, underrated as a singer in Lorcana.
We drew the Be Prepared.
Wow.
Lovely.
Wow.
Lovely.
So then we do get 4 lore off the Blues, but now Jamie looking at 2 cards in hand. So, gosh, we do have a song. We have a Grab Your Sword, which we could sing just to get the lore out of it.
Off of it.
Let's see if we choose to do that here, because doing that would put you, within striking distance. There we go.
Yep.
We're just going to sing
Sang
that,
it.
get 3
Get
lore.
3.
And now that's Cinderella and top decking another song is the game for Jamie next turn. There's plenty of songs in this deck.
Yeah.
I think, Frank Karsten, when he won Leal, he said the optimal song range for him was about 18 or 19 in a steel song deck. So about a third of your cards are songs if you follow Frank Karsten's build.
Yeah. So pretty likely that one would come up.
That is true. We did manage to get rid of that Cinderella, though. So even a song, no song.
Ooh.
Jennifer's happy to see it.
Yes.
But again, you do want to remove every character you can, because that puts you... nope. So we're a rabbit
Redraw?
looking for a brawl. We didn't get it.
No.
So let's see here. We have a couple options. We could rabbit into another card.
Yeah.
Looking for something
A
we can
goat.
sing. A goat is not what you want to see.
No.
So again, Jennifer's gonna have to cross her fingers and hope that we don't top deck a song. We ink a Chernobog's Flowers to play. Chernobog's Flowers are going to quest for 2 with that Lady Tremaine. And now going to pass the turn, and fingers crossed. Let's see what happens.
Little faith, trust, and pixie dust on this top deck.
And there it is.
A whole new world. We got this on.
And there it is to close it out. Man, fascinating game. Yeah, there's just not a lot of answers. There's no answers for items.